Everybody, welcome back to Northern Appalachian Prospecting. I'm your host, Prospector Wayne Thornton. Been digging and scratching now over 40 years in Vermont. Been just about everywhere where there was gold. I was fortunate enough to know a geologist at a young age, and he took me underneath his wing and did a lot of work. Anyways, episode 3. You're going to see some problems in this one. Nothing that can't be fixed, but setbacks, setbacks, setbacks. That's all it seems like mining is. But I'm not going to sit here and whine. Why don't you guys get ready? In 3, 2, 1, enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Appalachian Prospecting. Hope you earned your subscription today. We're taking a ride down with the old Grizz, heading down to the cut. So I get to show you some problems that we ran into. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. This old grizzly is kind of a beast. I like it now. She tested my patience a little bit, but I guess everybody does now and again. I even got the hydraulic brakes working. I don't know how in the hell that happened, but the hydraulic brakes are working on this, which is good because this thing is all steel. This isn't them plastic pieces of shit they make today. This is all rugged steel. Back lifts up great. Everything's going good with that. So we brought down the wash plant. This is the wash plant. I'm not going to get into too deep with this today because this is another video of how we're going to set this up. You can see I put it on a skid. Okay. All right. So I dragged it down. Yeah. I wish I would have got video of that. This thing started hopping a little bit and vibrated over and almost fell off. It's like, oh my God. So, well, we got it down here anyway. So in my, I think it was episode 2, I had showed how we were going to put a cut in over here. And that did not come to fruition, and I'll tell you why. We ran into something. Okay, remember right here? I said I was going to put the wash plant. That's not happening. That's going to have to become a dead space. Probably what I'll do is I'll put a chair right there or something. That way I can sit down, whatever. But I'm going to end up putting the wash plant right here. And I'll tell you why. Alright, so years ago when this property was acquired, we did have a well issue years ago. And I thought the well was more to my left-hand side over here. And come to find out, it is not. It's right there. Okay? So this is going to cut right across the yard and meet a building right there. Okay? Which in turns cuts this all off for me. Plus I got to stay about 2 feet this way. So the wash plant's going to be right here. Frickin' line goes right through here. So a while back I bought this drill right here, this auger. See it? Okay, because I wanted to take a look at some of this dirt in here, which I did. I did certain test holes over here. You can't see them because I cleaned this all out, took the organics off. So if you look out here, there's a pile starting over here. This is just dirt that I'm going to recycle and use. Over here is the woods that I was telling you. This is all untrapped territory. The last drill hole that I did was up in here. I moved some dirt away. Of course, it was late fall, so there was no poison oak or anything in there, and I drilled down. And it was pretty cool that I actually found 2 little specks of gold, and that was really cool to see it. Now you can see I didn't go down that far. The auger's only, I don't know what them are, they're 2 feet or some shit. So I didn't go down far, and it was like really cool. So I got excited and I worked around and I tried to pop in. I popped in one over here, and one over here. These all sucked. There was nothing in it. But again, I only went down 2 feet. So surprise, surprise, I said, well, because of the cut and I got to stay at least 2 feet away from the water line as it cuts across, I got to stay at least 2 feet, and I'll probably have to crib it depending on how deep I got to go before I hit bedrock. And that's another little story we're going to talk about, is the bedrock, how deep it is here. It's really weird. It's it's a screwed up area. But anyway, so I got to stay to this side. So I'm like, well, I'm going to head out into the woods and start clearing it and getting the organics off and getting my square opened up over here, because now behind us, we're full of organics. Oh, here's Piper. She is not a hard-working miner. I will tell you that. But Piper's our dog. She's our gold dog. Right, Pipe Pipe? Right? Say hi to the camera. Yeah? That's Piper. So this has all got to be cleaned out and scraped off. So as I got out into the woods over here, of course, my property line runs out here, which there is a dead tree out there. So it's quite a ways, but there's a waterway. And we got a loony-ass neighbor that lives over there, so there ain't no sense of bothering them fucking fools. So anyways, as I started out and meandering out into the woods to clean it up, guess what Wayne runs into? I've never seen all this before, but now I do. We ran into a little dump. You know how it was back in the 80s and 70s. Everybody had their own little fucking dump. Well, guess what? I found one. So I've got to clean that mess up. So the shows there will be delayed for another week, because I'm going to have to get a dumpster in here and clean up this whole back half. As you can see, I got big sumacs I got to take down. Just a literal fucking mess over here. Shit hiding. So it's going to get cleaned up, and that's kind of where we're at there. So I did put a little fence in, because I want people to come in and enter here. If they're going to hang out with me for the day, they can hang out there on the other side of the fence. Just stay away from this. And of course, it's going to be an open pit mine. So I'm only going to go down about 2.5, 3 feet, because I want to get, as you can see, the soil here. Look at this. I mean, that's just taking the top off. You get into these gravel rocks, and that's all river gravel. But I have, for the excavator, I have that sifter bucket that when I shake it, the soil will come out, and I get to keep the rocks. Because now that I'm looking at this awful mess over here, I'm going to take that batch of woods right here, square it off, and that's where my mill's going, my sawmill. So, you know, I guess some good and bad came out of it. The bad part is I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to run anything right off. But I also got to set up the wash plant, and we'll get back to that sucker. This is the wash plant that I'm putting together. It's got a trommel, got a hopper. We're going to send a conveyor up. I'm actually going to dump this into like a grizzly bar setup like I have over here. It'll be a little bit finer than that, because I don't want, you know, rocks that size going in there. I don't want that in there. You know, we're going to try to classify this down to, you know, something like this here. Okay? And this place is full of it. And the deeper you go, it's just really crazy. So I've got this set up, not quite set up because I have to be completely set up. We got 2 trays here. This one will slide out and come way out to here, so I'll have plenty of run for the sluice box. I'm going to put auxiliary water up in there. That'll be up there on the top up here, right here. And that'll be spraying down along with what's coming down the drum. So I'm going to have adequate water flow, no problems there. I'm going to work with a little mat a little bit. I'm going to talk to Jeffrey Slade, our geologist, and talk to him about what mat I should be using up in here. I don't know if I need a scrubber or if I need some hog mat or what, but way down here, I'll be doing the same thing, trying to capture all that extra fine gold. That's why I added on the run so it comes out to here. That will probably just have miner's moss in there, because that'll catch all that fine gold. Another thing that I saw I've been doing a lot of research on these trommels and whatnot. A lot of the people have them coming out cone down here, and then they have the sluice boxes going this way. But these here, I noticed, I saw one of these on one of the show with Freddie and Juan, and they really like this setup. They really, really liked it, and they actually added like a little bit of a brush across here, so it was just barely touching the water. And what that does is break up all that vortex and perfect flow. It's just really good job what they did, and I mean, they really brought it up. I mean, I'm not expecting to see miracles come out of this place, but I know there's gold down there because I played on this property. I've owned it for 28 years. Yeah, and I didn't even know that dump exists because it was all woods out here. But anyways, so we'll get that fixed. No big deal. The problem is it just slows you up. So I'm going to get this set up over here. Like I said, it'll be right there about where that tire is set up. Okay. And then I have a water source really, really close. It's a shallow well that I can pump out of if I need water. But I really, really want to make this self-contained. So the water that's going to come down out of that last chute is going to drop into a man-made tub. And in that tub, I'm going to have a sediment pond that kind of goes like this. Okay. So it's high on one end and it drops down in the middle and then it comes back up. So the water comes out, and the secondary part of that little pond will be where I pump my water back up in, because you want all the sediments to get in here. You don't get them all, but you get 90% of them in that first reservoir. So that's what we're going to do when we get it finally set up over there. And I'm going to keep this set up for a while, because this place is, you know, like I said, I don't know what's down, way down. I don't know, guys. I mean, we're over in the Taconic Mountains. This is a whole different ball game over here than going and playing on the eastern flank of the Greens. But I know there is gold. I found plenty of gold in the Pulteney River. I think throughout my time of living here, I've probably gotten just a little over a gram out of here. Now, remind you, that's 28 years, guys. The Pulteney River is a lot of fun for crevicing, if you guys like crevicing. I mean, and there's nice pull-offs and shit. You can go down there and pull up some moss and clean out the dirt underneath there. You'd be surprised what you find. I don't know where this gold came from over here in the Taconics. I've read a bunch of shit with Hitchcock and all them guys talking about some deposit that was slipped over on a glacier from the Great Lakes. I mean, could it be? I guess so. I don't know. I know the gold itself is associated with the quartz veins of the West Castleton Schistry. So what I did throughout my time of playing in the Taconics is I did some geology work, and I found out where the contacts were, if they are available, and see if there's a brook that went by them, and I would go check them. And sure enough, each one of them contacts of West Castleton Schistry showed gold. So I'm not a hard-working miner. So yeah, so the gold actually came up in the West Castleton Schistry, and it was Cambrian time. And the gold is very, very fine. It's it's fine, that comes out of them quartz veins. I've actually pulled some quartz. And another thing that I'm going to be doing here real soon, this is all part of this setup. I'm actually going to put a little tiny addition on the back of that, and I'm going to set the crushers up. Okay? Because I have crushers. And we're going to crush some of this quartz that came out of here. And so that way people get to see this firsthand. I'll do the crushing, and I'll do the processing right then and there. It won't be another show. That way you can see just how tiny this gold is. Now, this gold over here in the Taconics is, like I said, is associated with the quartz veins. And it's like a Carlin trend. Our gold is so small that it, you know, there's actually nanoparticles of gold that come out of there. But in some cases, there are gold. Now, like I said, in the river system, you will find actually bigger flakes. So I have no idea where that stuff came from. I mean, I've been studying geology for over 25 years, and I still can't come up with a definitive idea of where these particular sands came from. Because I'm going to tell you something. There's 3 different layers of sands in these valleys, and I've seen it. And this is all glacial flow sand, all right? I mean, if you look up on the drumlin up there, you can kind of see it right here on the top, all right? That's a drumlin. That's a geological drumlin out there. So we sat right in a glacier dam. And this is the old riverbed that came billowing right down through that valley up there, okay? See this valley? It came right down through there. Excuse the mess, guys. I got to clean this up. All right, so this whole valley opened up, and you know that there was something here because we've got flat land over on the other side. So it's pretty interesting about this valley. Let me get out here so you guys can see. All right, look at how high up this glacier dam was. Not up there, that's the top of the ridge. It's down here, whoop, right across, okay? All right, you want to see some geology? Here we go. This is called a geological drumlin, all right? And then when you get up into Timoth area, you'll see shitloads of these through a field, and you'll see the drains cutting right through the field. I'll try to get some footage for that so you guys can see it. I mean, that's the shit that you need to understand about drainages and whatnot in these other areas that you go play in on the western flank. You know, there's glacier dams that backed up. Can you imagine how much water come through this valley when that dam finally broke up there on that corner? All right, up here on the corner, if you go past my home, you'll get around a corner and you'll notice that you'll come into a ledge plate that comes right out, I mean right out into the river. So that tells you that that water kind of got turned and went right up here and made this beautiful little dam. Part two to this. Now we've got a 2,400 foot mountain up there called Spruce Knob. Anybody see it? God. All of the glacier mountain sands and everything came right down through this valley and hit this 1,000 foot mountain behind the trees here. Let me get over here so you can see it. Look at this. That's a 1,000 foot jet up mountain. Doop. 2,400 feet. All of that glacial melt came right down this valley, hit this, went right around this mountain, and filled up right here. All right? And I know for a fact that a lot of glacial flow sand came down through there because Carreras actually had a processing and aggregate plant right over in here. We call this Carreras Mountain, but it's not. It's just what we said. So you've got that little area right there where all of that glacier till come right down through, wash through. This was dammed up. I mean, who knows what truly happened, but you can see the valley right here. This melted and came down through. Big glacier dam up there on the corner broke. And this whole area right here flatted out and flooded. All right? So, here we go. Over here, right there where that tree is, there's exposed bedrock sticking right up just like this. Okay? Now there's a contour line that comes right across the field, cuts up, and they have it going right through my property, which it's not. It is not. It is actually right down there. There's exposed bedrock coming right out right there, just at the other end of my property. So that cuts in like this. So this area either had to have been a big pool or a huge dam, part of the dam. But the bedrock cuts down like this and then it flattens out. We've got two more slices of bedrock like this. Bedrock face right here behind us that goes up at an angle. This goes at an angle through the woods. It doesn't, you know, go straight in or anything like this, so it takes off at an angle. So this was like a swallow point. And if you really look at the Morris Hollow and all that over there and them big fields, that's all just drainage. We're going to have a car going by, guys. Sorry. So, I have a drone that I've flown up there and I've taken a look at this whole area. I'm telling you, I know I'm in an ancient riverbed. And I know it for a fact because I've already found particles of gold. So I'm not even bothering. So just give you a little idea where it is. The Polteny River is a 44-mile river stretch. It starts at the Timoth Purchase in Timoth, Vermont. And it drops out into East Bay, known as East Bay in Lake Champlain. Carver's Falls is one of the last shifts on the river. The river gets kind of big down there. Up here toward Middletown, East Polteny and Polteny area is a lot of fun to do some crevicing. You're going to be freaking amazed what you find. But there's not, like, digging. You're not going to find piles and piles of gold, guys. I mean, you're going to make enough for the day to make you smile, but you're not going to go crazy. There's Gold Camp. I've drained the pond down. We're going to do some work around it, put some cement around it. Still working on that. Oh, I didn't show you this. There you go. Check this out, guys. I put in a self-serve lumberyard. I've been working on this for the past couple weeks, so that's why I haven't gotten a lot of filming done. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I've got it so I can lay my boards in there. I just put a quick PVC roof on it, no biggie. It's just setting boards. Got some planks we cut up. And that's my sheep. Her name is Trixie. Anyways, just got a few boards done. It's just been so blasted hot. I've worked out in this heat for over a week trying to put this together. So yeah, it's going to be a self-serve. I'm going to put a little box right here. Right here. You'll be able to just open it up. There'll be a clipboard there that tells you, you know, how many you took, whatever, and then you can add it up. I'll have a calculator dangling, and then I'll just have a box in here for, you know, money or check or whatever. So that's been what's going on at the mine. It just never ends. It seems like everything is a problem. See, she even agrees. Yeah, you guys want to see Trixie? Hi, Trixie. Little Miva, been doing all the work for me. Hi, Trixie. Let's get an extreme close-up. Hi, Trixie. Now, she didn't like the camera. She'll probably blat at me. Hi, Trixie. Hi, Trixie. All right, and she's definitely not a working miner. And she's not a hard-working miner either. All right, so there you go, guys. We're moving along. I got to get a little bit of shit cleaned up before we move on. Once that's cleaned up, I can get the wash plant set up, and I'll bring you along for the ride. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining my ride, because this is episode 3. Check out these black walnut logs. They'll be sawed right up soon. So thanks a lot again, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe. Watch our channel. The only way you can help us out right now is just subscribing to our channel. It'd be great. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. Northern Appalachian, out. Well, I told you there was problems. I tell you, it just seems like it never ends, from the rock truck just being a nightmare to every other thing that can go wrong. But I guess that's the way it is. In the meantime, I'm going to do a 3-part series, okay? I got to step away from the mine for a minute, and I got to clean that mess up, so it's going to take me a few, probably 2 weeks. But I'm going to do a 3-part series called Wayne on the Water. I'm actually going to do some geological talk. I'm going to see if I can get my old boy, Jeffrey Slade, to come up and be on camera. He's been on camera before. Check out my other videos. They're pretty cool. Jeff is in the Goldie Box review, and I'm going to get him out, and we're going to do a ride around, and we're going to talk geology on some of Vermont's cool features. But Wayne on the Water will just be me alone on the water, and I'll explain to you where I am, but I'm not going to tell you my spot, nor I'm going to tell you the river. You can figure that out after I tell you. So we're going to do 3 of them, and in the meantime I can clean up the mess, and then hopefully by then we will have the plant around the corner set up so it kind of looks like it's something. By then, hopefully Jeff will give me some pointers on what I should be using for the right mats. But for now, everybody, the next video coming out will be Wayne on the Water, and we'll have some fun. So enjoy our channel. Thank you to all of my subscribers. My subscribers are growing wickedly. My watch time's way up. Thank you for that. So yeah, I can't thank you enough for subscribing. That's how you help us right now. I don't have any apparel or hats or good hoodies or anything yet, but as time goes on, maybe I will. So, hey, maybe if I get rich from the mine, right? So enjoy, guys. Enjoy our channel. Thank you so much. Northern Appalachian Prospecting.